Hey guys, welcome back to another polygel nail design set where my sets are created using 100% polygel. So I'm not sure how I feel about these. I do not love them, but I also don't hate them. It's just like another blue set. Honestly, I do feel like I could have done a lot better when it came down to the execution of this set, but it is what it is. I wanted to show y'all my little name ring and necklace, I guess. They are really, really pretty. I will put a link down in the description. I think they just super cute in nail photos, at least for me. Okay, so we're going to start this set off with some Peel Off Base Coat from Macart. And then we're going to go in with iGel Beauty or Diamonds Polygel. And the name of it was Make Your Mark. What I wanted to do with this set was use polygels that I don't typically reach for, or use the ones that are down to the last bit in the tube. So with this one here, I just don't, we know I love iGel Beauty Polygel. I have said that pretty much in every video, but I do not like this particular color. I do not think it worked very well on my skin tone. It's like a milky pink. The pink is really, really faint, but you can see it. So it's mostly like a milky color. It just don't look good on me. I just am not a fan of it. I may have used this one before. I don't quite remember. But anyway, the polygel itself was really, really nice. I just didn't really care for this color on me. But I wanted to use some of those polygels that I just don't use that often. All right, so all I was doing was pushing that polygel down towards that cuticle area. I'm not putting it under the cuticles nor on the skin, just making it as close as I can get it to that cuticle without touching it. Here I was just trying to push that polygel over to the center of my nail bed. It's hard to see it from this angle. You will be able to see it a little better soon. But I was just trying to push it over halfway and then bring down that remainder polygel to my desired length. I do believe I scoped this down to like the line 3. Gave that a cure. Now you can kind of see it a little better there what I did. Okay, so now we're going to go in with the Burano. This one here is a deep dark blue. I love Burano Polygel. I don't have an issue with it. Like, it's really nice to use. Although some of them don't cure as hard, I do like this brand. Now with this one here, I'm not a fan of dark colors on me. I have used a dark blue before, but just not this brand. But I just don't like the dark colors on me. Me being a dark-skinned woman, bright, neon, bold colors just tend to look better up against my skin tone. But hey, I wanted to just use those ones I don't use that often. Okay, so now we have the Macart Indigo. With this one, this was just a case of using this one because it was a little bit left in the bottle or a little bit left in the tube. And so that's how this one came about. Also, this is the second darkest blue that I have. So that's how that came about. Now for me, I personally do not like Macart Polygel. I am not a fan of their polygel at all. It's too sticky for my liking. Now don't get me wrong, where I am in my journey, I can use any polygel and make something out of it. I'm just not a fan of this one. I slowed it down so you can see. When you go to swipe it, it just starts sticking to your brush, and that is so annoying for me. Again, I can use any polygel, but that is just a pain in the behind when you're working and it constantly keep moving or sticking to your brush. But that's what I did there with the blue. Now, what I will say is, although I'm not a fan of Macart, their neon kit is my favorite kit from them because the colors are very opaque. The colors are nice. There's still a few colors from that kit that no other brand have, and so they will always remain in my top neon kit. Okay, now we have Savvyland. This was dark blue, I believe. This is from their newer kit. I'm not sure if you guys know, but Macart, their tubes and stuff used to be a whole different logo. No, the logo is the same, but the tubes used to look different. Their polygel also is different. Their older polygel was a lot softer than this one. Their polygel was, it wasn't sticky back then, but it was soft and it was very runny. This one here, it is a lot more dense. It is a little more sticky, but it's not as soft and runny as it was before. And honestly, I like the new Savvy Land because back in the day, I hated Savvy Land. I would never ever recommend it, but I will recommend their newer kits. I do like that. Okay, now we have Wenday polygel. Now the thing with this one was the softest polygel out of all the colors that I did use in this set. Now the only reason I don't use it is because they are up on my top shelf. I don't have a problem with this polygel. Some of the colors do tend to cure soft, regardless of how long you cure it, it still files pretty soft. But I like this brand. I really do. I don't have any problems with it. I just don't use them that much. Now this one here is Welquin. This is another case of it was up high on the shelf. So when I got this kit, which was like 3 years ago, when I swatched it, they were sticky. And back then, if the polygel was sticky or if the polygel was like really soft, I just didn't use them. And so I put this one up on the top shelf because I thought it was sticky. But compared to the Macart, it is nowhere near as sticky as the Macart one. And so I will be using them a lot often, or a little more often than I used to. Okay, so at this point, I added some more of the iGel Beauty Polygel. What I was trying to do here was I have a lot of sets that are diagonal. I have a lot of sets where the colors just go diagonally across the finger. So I wanted to kind of switch it up a little bit here. And so once I went in with this polygel, I kind of was going, my mindset was to do opposite of what I did at the top of the nail. So pretty much the pinkish white color, or whatever, we're just going to call it white. The white color is more on the right side of the fingernail. And so when I got down here, I just put the white more on the left side and just repeated the process with the colors, going in with the Burano one, putting that up against the white color. Now, a thing, when I do color blocking, or if you decide to do color blocking, definitely make sure those polygels are touching each other. That is very, very important, because if you leave a little space in between or something, especially if you're using foams, when you take it off, the nail will separate. So make sure the polygel is touching. Okay, at that point, we just went in with the Macart one. Same process, putting it on there, smoothing it over, trying to, get them little diagonal lines in there. Going in with the Savvy Land. Now, once I got down here to this point, the nails did go a lot quicker, or the ending was a lot quicker, because when I was squeezing them out of the tube, it was pretty much squeezing right where I needed to go. So I didn't have to do a whole lot of shaping and molding when it came down to this bottom half of the nail. Okay, something else too. What I started doing was with my foams at the bottom, I started pinching them a lot tighter than I used to. And that helped me out big time, because they used to be like extremely wide. Like my nails, regardless of how much I filed them, they still just look wide at the tip. And so me discovering that if I just pinch it tighter, it's not going to necessarily give me a stiletto nail. It just will make the nail look a bit more narrow at the end. So if any of you guys who use forms, just pinch them forms tighter at the end. Okay, after all of the colors are done, I'm going to take some alcohol and wipe them off. Making sure to wipe the top of the nail, the sides of the nail, all up underneath of the nail. Just give it a good wipe. Now, what I don't show is after I wipe these off with alcohol, I do go and wash my hands. Although the alcohol removed that sticky layer, I don't like that alcohol and that stickiness all on my hands. I don't like how I feel. But look, after we finish that part, here is the nails after. Baby, these nails needed a lot of work. When I tell you I had to put a lot of filing into these, I did. They were extremely thick. They were extremely wide at the end. They was very lumpy. I just had to do a lot of filing. So boom, here is the filing. I like to start out with debulking the nail. And so with my orange 2-time coarse barrel bit, long barrel bit that I got from AliExpress, I like to just remove as much as that product, as much as, I'm getting tongue tied. I like to remove as much product as possible with this bit. As you can see, like, I love this bit when it comes down to debulking. As you can see, like, it files away so easy. So when my nails are really thick like that, I'm not too worried or concerned about the filing, because this bit cut right through it with no problem. regardless of how soft the polygel cure or how hard it cure, it just cuts through it with no problem. So I love this bit. I do have like 3 more. I don't want them to go dull because I love this bit. But here I'm just taking away as much of the product as possible, and I do just file from different angles, also looking in between just to see what needs to be filed. Now at this point I did not finish filing the 4 fingers, but I do think it's easier for you guys to see my angles or what I'm doing when I show you guys the recording on the thumb. All right, so after we debulk, I like to go into my shaping. And so I just take my green sturdy hand file and start working on the sides. I personally file up and down. That helps me to get really straight sides. And I'll do that on both sides. And then, let's see, let's get that done. Check it out. And then take some of the length off of this nail. I don't like this nail long, so I'm going to remove the length, and also getting the tip straight. After that process, I like to go into, okay, still same thing, pretty much still working with the shaping. I'm taking this thin wood hand file and filing the underside up, making sure my file is parallel to the finger. This helps to remove that wide look. One is extra product that you don't need, but also it'll help the nail if it looks wide. Now we're going to go into the cuticle work, and with my fine bit, sometimes I do use an extra fine, but for the most part, with my fine bit, I like to file around that cuticle area to remove any ledges, any thickness. If the polygel is touching that cuticle, separate it. Like that's what I go in with my fine bit with. And I also like to file over the colors where the colors meet to make sure no polygel is on top of another one, just to make sure every color is where it is supposed to be. That is what I do with my fine bit. I personally love these long burl bits. Again, I get them from AliExpress. I think they are great when it comes down to doing longer sets. They really get in there good. All right, now we're going to finish up with some finish filing. This part here is just taking my hand file and finishing this nail up. So I'll file around the cuticle and then file down the sides. This here will remove those lumps, dips, high spot, low spots, whatever you want to call it. Go in with your hand file for that. Just keep filing that nail until the whole nail is chalky, and that is a good indication that your nail isn't lumpy and bumpy, I guess. All right, so go in with that hand file. And I personally love to file. This don't bother me. I love to file. But make sure you go in with that hand file. All right, so we're going to finish this up with the final shaping. And really it just depends on whatever hand file I'm using at the time is what I'll use to go in with the finished shaping. But just finish up, clean up that shape. Check in there to see how straight it was. And then just clean it all up. I guess I could have took a little bit of that out, but here is the nails after. They were cute at this point, like they were. I did like the colors. I do love how the colors kind of faded from dark to light. All right, but look, this is what I was doing. I took some protein bond and went around my cuticles. This step here does not serve a purpose. It does not benefit the nails or the longevity or anything about the nails. I do this because I am removing that ashiness that's down in that cuticle. I personally do not like to put cuticle oil on the nails. I don't like how oily the nail look or just look greasy. And so I don't like to use the cuticle oil for that. So that is what I use the protein bond for. Also just filling in any little holes that may be in the nail. After that, we go ahead and top coat. Now I'm just recording this one nail, so go ahead with my Vanillisa top coat. Put a nice thin even layer on there. Took a little paper towel and wipe off the extras off the sides, underneath, and the tip. We know gel have a tendency to run, with gravity or whatnot. It tends to pull, and so wiping down them sides will help to keep your shape. went in with these little diamond shapes and then these little rhinestones. Now this color is, these rhinestones are in the color Capri Blue. Very pretty color. I do feel like anytime I do a blue set, these are the rhinestones that I use. I love this color. I thought they were very pretty. But I just put two at the bottom and then one small one at the top of that little diamond charm. Or I don't want to say charm, but that little diamond, I don't know, accessory or whatever. I don't know, y'all. It's late. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to get this video done. Okay, so look, wipe off the extra top coat again, wipe it on a little paper towel, cure them, and here is the nails after. Now, here's the thing. I do feel like I could have done a lot better with this set. If you guys look at my liner light, especially on that ring finger, and that pinky, the liner light is so wonky. Like, that just tells me that I could have done a little bit more with that filing. But it is what it is. Another set completed. I do love the colors. I just felt like my execution could have been a lot better. But here's how the nails look in the natural light. But the video is coming to an end, so I want to say thank you guys. Thank you for that love and support that you always showing me. Please leave your comments down in the description. And if you haven't done so already, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.